All right, Madam Chair, we are ready to go.
Well, good morning, everyone. We're in work session this day, Tuesday, December 7th, 2021. This is Chair Catherine Harrington, and with me presently is Vice Chair Pam Trees, Commissioner Nafisa Fai, and Commissioner Roy Rogers. We're expecting that Commissioner Jerry Willey will be joining us soon. So we just came out of executive session as posted. And so this is time for board and leadership communication and any questions on our formal agenda items for the two subsequent meetings, the monthly housing authority board of directors meeting for Washington County, and then the Washington County Board of Commissioners meeting. We will reconvene in work session at 1 o'clock. And we have multiple topics that should carry us forward to about 4 in the afternoon. So, board communication, who would like to kick us off today?
I'll start.
Go ahead, Commissioner Fai.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Chair Harrington. Last week, it will be brief because last week we had our evening board session and then we had our roundtable. But one of the things that happened last week that I'm very proud of is that Brenda and I were able to do our quarterly civic engagement. And this quarter we did with Tina Kotek's House Speaker, Tina Kotek, and was very well attended. Our goal is to advertise just 2 weeks and not to get like so many people that we can get a handle of, but I really want to make sure we're opening up democracy and facilitating ways people to engage us. So that was last week, and then had a lot of few constituent meetings, and I'll keep you in the loop when I'm doing the next one. It'll be really good to do one with one of us, among us. So I'll keep you posted. But yeah, and we also did our, but somebody else will talk about it, our town hall on budget, which is really great.
Thank you, Commissioner Fai. What kind of turnout were you successful in getting for your quarterly civic engagement?
Oh yeah, we had I can ask Brenda, but we had I think over 30 plus people there once. And yeah, it was really good. I think Brenda would like to advertise it a month ahead, but that will get more people if we advertise it. But we only advertise it 2 weeks before the training so that we get really solid numbers to really just have a dialogue about democracy. So we had about 35, which is consistent for all my monthly town halls number.
That's great. Mm-hmm. Keep up the good community engagement work. Other commissioners, anything? Otherwise, we can move on. Go ahead, Commissioner Willey.
Well, yeah, I have actually a number of things, considering that I returned from vacation late Tuesday night, so Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday was pretty packed. Going back to the Tuesday meeting that I missed, I know that we approved the Juneteenth holiday, and I should have communicated my support of that before while I was on vacation. That just went right on by me, but I appreciate Tanya, you speaking up there and communicating that you thought I was in approval of this, and I am. So yeah, I'm glad that we did that, and Eva did a great job of communicating my concerns back. So that was a good process, at least from my standpoint. So thank you everyone for doing that. And I'm glad that we can add that to our holiday listing, or not holiday, but vacation, whatever day that is, listing that, so we can take a day off. And yes, I was able to attend the town hall, which I thought was really good. It looked to me like we had over 100 people online at one point in time. And so well attended, lots of good information. And again, kudos to the staff for participating in that and providing all that information. I'm sure we'll have more information coming back from that. Yesterday, Commissioner Teresa and I attended the Oregon Business Leadership Summit downtown. It was in Portland. It was probably attended at, I don't know, 50 or 60% of what is normal. But it was still a lot of folks were there. A lot of good conversations are had, of course, during the sessions, after the sessions, and breaks and things like that. And then we had the governor was there for about a 10-minute kind of communication, as well as Senators Merkley and Wyden, and we had some good panel information as well. So I was pleased that that obviously that is focused on economic development and what we can do for the business sector in the state of Oregon. So Pam will have more to add on that. I interviewed last week 4 planning commission candidates, and I will update you when we bring that up in the board meeting. Attended Forest Trust Lands update. Of course, that was primarily an update on the forest management plan and the habitat conservation plan timelines and things like that. It was a good conversation. And as you know, we are in the 10-year review process as well for the definition of a greatest permanent value, which is a key part of both the forest management plan and the HCP. Also met with Mayor Jeff Delenn and Renee Willer from Data Vision. Data Vision is communication is in Jervis, so they don't have it up here, but he was asking if we could meet to kind of touch base on where we're progressing on our rural broadband study and some of the things that we are doing there. So it was a good conversation with Renee, and I think she's going to connect us up with Zipley, and who is in Vernonia right now. So there's more to come on that. And then lastly, also a very good conversation with a constituent who runs an organization trying to help primarily women in sex trafficking, and a good conversation about some of the activity that is going on 10th in regards to our project there, our bridge project there, and then just some of the other services that she provides in her business. It was very good. She's doing a great job. And then real quickly, lastly is I also attended a self-sufficiency standard for Oregon. And this is kind of a national thing. They do these for all the states and things like that. I'd really encourage, I'm going to get that link and encourage you to, each one of us to take some time to look at that. It gives us a different perspective on what the federal poverty rate versus what is the real poverty rate, and how this impacts childcare and all of those kinds of things. It was a good insight on, and I guess I walked away from it thinking, I'd like to have us a little bit more of a clear plan on what we're going to be doing for childcare. I know we've dedicated ARPA money for this, and I'd just like to have a clear plan as to how we're going to go about facilitating that and helping, I guess, in that arena. So again, lots of information from that and from all the other things from last week. So look forward to more meetings this week.
Thank you, Commissioner Willie. Anyone else? Commissioner
Sure,
Rogers, go ahead.
I'll go. First of all, the town hall, I thought that was probably the most well attended. I like that. The only thing that I would add as far as improvement might be is that there was a lot of, at least I was in 3 different sessions, and I had to bite my lip not to say too much because we were supposed to listen, but there was some information that could have been disseminated that would have been helpful, I think, to people. So, however, we worked that in. Last night was a very, very full and lengthy meeting of the R1 Act. And for those of you who are attending JPAC, WCCC, or wherever, MPAC, you'll probably hear at some point about the federal infrastructure investments. That was Travis Brower from ODOT. I think we all know Travis. And I guess the message that you all probably need to hear is that there isn't all the money you think there is, and that we're all going to have to be a little constrained in the various projects that we come up with. Heard about climate change adaptation resilience. It doesn't include earthquake because that was done earlier, but I still think there's some synergy between the two. And that was an interesting presentation. The regional traffic performance report, what I liked and I said was it justified exactly what we've been saying on all those aux lanes on 217 and I-5. We've seen huge improvements in traffic flow. And so there's some modeling being done by a couple of engineers on that, those projects. And it was an interesting one. They're releasing their full report later on. We're supposedly having light weeks. We all have, I think, on Thursday, for those of you who can make it, an event for CWS, for Christmas events. Then on, let's see, I'll get out of that. And then Friday, there is the House District 25. I don't plan on attending it. And I know the chair said that she probably wouldn't either. We all have 0.2. That's 20% of one vote. So I think we have two folks in that particular area, and they're in Jerry's district. So Jerry, you hopefully can go and represent those two people well, even though you're outvoted significantly. Next Monday, Work Systems Finance Committee, we're having a lot of meetings. So we've got another one. And I know the sheriff has swearing in activities. And then on Thursday, Nafisa and I are meeting a bit on manufactured housing. And on the 17th, I have a House Bill 217 Transit Advisory Committee meeting. And so that's the next couple of weeks anyway.
Thank you, Commissioner Rogers. Vice Chair Treese.
Thank you. It has been a busy time. First on my list was to talk about the Oregon Business Plan Leadership Summit, and Jerry talked about that. The one thing that I would mention, two themes that came out quite a bit were at the federal level and also from the panels, was childcare and how important childcare is to economic development. So that was an interesting message and a strong message to the business community. The other was inflation, and we talked about we're all aware of what inflation is trending like and what impact it has on all different aspects of our business as well as the businesses that we support throughout the community. So those are two pieces. Everybody was masked up and well behaved in relationship to that. We had to show our COVID cards when we came in. So you had to have your government issued ID and your COVID card. So it was one of my first experiences in that type of event world, not post COVID, but during COVID. Let's put it that way. I did attend a summit that Mayor Beatty pulled together on childcare last week, along with the chair. Catherine, I'll defer to you to cover the components of that. I will mention that Mayor Beatty suggested that she and I talk with the business community about the possibility of some private public partnerships in relationship to childcare. Getting to what Commissioner Willie was talking about is what is the plan? I think we don't know yet, but I think that those are the types of components that we do need to look at. So I'm going to be very interested in looking at the information that you just talked about that was presented to the Greater Washington Chamber. I believe that's where you said it came from. So I'm really interested in that. MPAC is tomorrow night. It's we are going to be reviewing the information, the public comments for the proposed RTP amendment for the I-205 toll project. So that's going to be, I think it's going to be a very interesting discussion. It's that'll be presented by Mandy Putney from ODOT and Kim Ellis from Metro. The other piece is we're getting a presentation on emerging transportation trends, but I think the big discussion is going to be on the tolling project. So if you have input that you'd like me to consider, please let me know. My meetings this week, I have a Behavioral Health Council meeting, Central Cultural meeting, MPAC meeting. I'm going to the Portland Business Development Group holiday gathering. I have a PAB meeting, constituent meetings, and the Reimagine Oregon meeting is on Friday, and I believe all of us are invited to that. I don't know who all is attending, but I want to make sure that we're aware of that meeting. And then I will be attending the gathering that is through the DA's office this Friday morning. So that is, I believe that's the timing. That's my schedule. So with that, back to the chair.
Thank you, Vice Chair Treese. I haven't seen the invitation yet on Reimagine Oregon. Ms. Angie, if someone can help us with that and make sure the full board is aware of that, that'd be great. Also, Vice Chair Treese, you mentioned with MPAC and tolling. If you haven't had a chance yet, last night I sent the tri-chair notes, I think. Or I sent them to the usual team, our government relation, no, I stand corrected. The government relations team usually forwards it. So I'll just forward it to the full board. Clackamas County had a town hall last week, and some interesting discussions are going on there. So I'm going to go somewhat in reverse order. So I remember to add some mentions to things that Vice Chair Treese mentioned. On the Child Care Summit that Mayor Beatty called one evening last week, I had meetings every night last week, Monday through Thursday. They were really focusing on after school hours and summer hours. So when the public schools are not operating. So there were representatives from the Beaverton School Board, the THPRD Board of Directors. So I made sure to highlight for them what the board invested in with both the coronavirus relief funds as well as with tranche 1 of ARPA. To Commissioner Willie's point, our adopted proposal is that through ARPA, we continue to invest in expanding the pool of childcare providers, particularly those that serve the historically disadvantaged and lower income. So that would be home health care, both increasing and making it less burdensome for those who speak languages other than English as their main language to get licensed, but also through ARPA, we are providing grants for home-based healthcare providers to expand their capacity. So I did follow up Vice Chair Treese and provided to Mayor Beatty's staff a whole set of document links that tells that or is the data source for that whole story. I've not seen that email back from Ms. Walton Clark to the whole attendee list, but I know they were very busy yesterday. Mayor Beatty's office and various city councilors did a lot of lobbying, continued lobbying with Metro councilors yesterday. and worked out an amendment to the redistrict map. And last evening, I saw a final version of the memo that Mayor Beatty asked me as an individual to sign on to, which I did. As of this morning, there are some grammatical fixes to that memo. So once I get that, I'll update you all on that. Another thing just from yesterday that you'll see reflected in the tri-chair notes, apparently the indoor mask requirements here in the state of Oregon are set up through a governor's executive order, and that will be expiring, I believe, the end of February. And the governor and staff have now looked into what kind of mechanisms are needed to carry that approach or that tactic forward. And so there's a phraseology that's being used that labels it as a permanent indoor mask mandate, because the means of doing so, for example, through the state legislature, would be to put a provision in place and then have to repeal it. I'm as tired of anybody as wearing masks indoors. I continue to do so because it's safe, and it enables me to ensure that I'm following safe protocols and working with other people. But heads up, I do not look forward to the likely misunderstanding that is already starting just in the last 24 hours about this. Like with Commissioner Willie, I attended the Forest Trust Lands Advisory Committee meeting on Friday. I really appreciated how the Department of Forestry folks and the Oregon Board of Forestry board member Jim Kelly made it clear that for both the forest management plan and the habitat conservation plan, the agency is bound to define, to put together those plans using the definition of greatest personal value that was adopted in 1998, which is the definition that the Washington County Board of Commissioners has reaffirmed, both or the most recent in summer of 2020. I've been meeting with the local elected officials as part of the briefing effort from Clean Water Services on the Scoggins Dam update, some more meetings between now and the end of the year. Last week, there was a health equity forum that was sponsored through Virginia Garcia Memorial Health Foundation and Centro Cultural. I attended that. Given the excellence of our public health team in making us aware of both the community disparities that COVID-19 has provided a lens and focus on, I didn't think there was any new material for us. So if you were not able to attend that, don't worry. I think you're fully up to speed because our team has done an excellent job. Some of us attended the Washington County Civic Leaders Program graduation that was combined. Our contractor Adelante Mejeres combined that with the graduation for a immigration leaders class that they have. And lastly, as we all know, in addition to our town hall on Thursday night, thank you staff that really advanced our engagement on budget from the last couple of years. So we've now had a third go at this and will only keep improving from year to year. It was really great to hear what interest our communities have in learning more about our services, right? And there's a lot of information need about what it is the county actually does, for example, with mental health. And I know our behavioral health division manager is speaking at different public forums to help advance that. And that was a topic from our June town hall as well. We had the SD 18 appointment on Monday night, and we have another one coming up towards the end of January that Clerk Moss is setting up for us. We're all in a crunch mode, as everyone, I think, realizes that we have 4 weeks of business to cram into 3 weeks before the December holiday. But I wish everyone well, and I think we'll manage to get it all done. So in addition to those things, I will be joining all of you with the third annual gathering of legislators and our judges. And then I've also got the Metro Regional Solutions Advisory Committee meeting this week. So as always, it's a vital work for the benefit of our community. So that's it from me. Do we have any leadership communications that you want us to get to before our subsequent 2 meetings? Or also any board questions on agendas? Go ahead, Ms. Angie.
So I just wanted to provide a quick introduction just because I have the 2 staff members available now, and all other leadership updates can be held till the end of the day. So Clerk Moss, if you could promote both Mr. Rhodes and Ms. Ethel Galeris. So Chair Harrington and Board of Commissioners, I'm very excited to introduce 2 key staff members. Rodney, are you on? I see your black box, but I don't see you yet. There you are. So Board of Commissioners, I'd like to introduce Rodney Rhodes. He is our interim Chief Financial Officer. And then I want to introduce someone who I continue to hear just amazing things about within the organization, who is our Deputy Chief Financial Officer, Ethel. And so Rodney, if maybe you can just introduce the both of you and say a few words.
Sure. Thank you, Tanya. I appreciate it. Madam Chairman, members of the Board of Commissioners, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to meet myself and Ethel. This week will be 1 month into my time here in Washington County. I'm looking forward to my time as we go forward, getting into the budget process, working with you directly on the county's budget, as well as the financial position of the county. So Ethel has given me just a great overview in my time here. And Ethel's been with the county now for 6 months, I believe. Is that right, Ethel? And we are very excited. Looking forward to, again, more interaction with the Board of Commissioners and with Tanya regarding the go forward plan for the budget. And so I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Ms. Angie, I really appreciate how you bring forward key leaders from your leadership team to help us get better acquainted as a Board of Commissioners. I really want to say thank you, Mr. Rhodes and Ms. Galares, if I pronounced your last name correctly, in working with all of our departments to put together the budget town hall. And I know Ms. Tillman and Highland Edelman and many others contributed to that. I'm really looking forward to seeing the notes from that meeting, but also Ms. Angie, I'm looking forward to hearing reflections from the various departments about what they learned and or what they would like us to consider as we move forward in the future with our own board engagement with the community through future budget steps and future fiscal year processes. So I just have so much I look forward to continue doing in this role.
Thank you, Chair. And one would assume that would have been a prompt, but it wasn't a prompt. We are already scheduled with our department directors, or what we call our leadership team, to debrief the town hall and get thoughts from our directors. I have received their appreciation of being involved and hearing directly from community through this process. So I'm looking forward to that discussion and getting their thoughts on the budget as well.
Board members, I don't usually have to call on you to see if you have anything else, but just in case. Okay, big thumbs up. So is there anything else to Mr. Carr, Mr. Jockers, that we need to make sure we touch on before we move on to our other meetings? Okay, all righty. Well then, commissioners, we will put a pause on our work session for now and see you on the other Zoom links for our Washington County Housing Authority Board of Directors and our Board of Commissioners meeting. Yes, Clerk Moss.
Nope, you are perfect, Madam Chair. We'll see you guys over there about 10:10 to give us IT a little bit of time to get the next link.
All righty. Thank you so much.